Gentlemen, you are watching the Potsy and Tino show.
It's the Potsy and Tino show. Talk the facts and let opinions blow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings you its tag team champions of the world. That's right, the Potsy and Tino show. Tino,
Hey.
have some guests, but before we get there, we always like to talk about what's up with you.
Hey, man, not a whole lot going on. Pretty much had a pretty chill weekend, chilled out Saturday. Sunday was Father's Day, so, I pretty much chilled, didn't do anything. That's pretty much what I get to do. Like, so on Father's Day and Mother's Day and birthdays, that's our day. So whatever you want to do. So I pretty much just laid around the house and watched TV. And then we were going to go to a steakhouse, but my father-in-law had to get a flight back. And by the time he got over here, by the time we were going to Texas Roadhouse, it would have been an hour and a half wait, and we didn't have time to do all that. So we just went to Red Robin, which was awesome. I love Red Robin too. Went to Red Robin. Red Robin, yep. I made a good old monster double cheeseburger. It was awesome. Because I figured, this Thursday on the 19th, Juneteenth, is my wedding anniversary. So we'll go out and eat then, I guess. So she June 19th will be 21 years married, 23 years together. And then Friday, I took Friday off. And then Saturday she leaves to go to New York for the week and a half. And then she comes back July 3rd, and then which is that Thursday, I believe. And then the 5th, we go down to the beach for a week. So
Well,
a lot going on.
I was only going to say that, with Juneteenth coming up, you kind of got to tell me what's going on with that because I get to celebrate it too now, right?
What's up with you before you piss me off?
Hey, no. You agreed. I got my card right here.
I'm about to take it back.
Card right here.
I'm about to take it back because you're getting ridiculous now.
No, but seriously, it is one of those holidays that everybody should take care of, and everybody should mean something for everyone. But I've got a big weekend planned this weekend coming up. I've got Heroes Con coming up, where I'll be driving down to Charlotte Thursday and then spending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have at least a friend of the show who's going to be doing the same thing. But we have two guests.
I was looking look at that little gray box, and it's got the comments in it. You see it?
It says Michael Turner.
No.
I
The gray box that I was telling you.
I don't know what it means. Like, it's brand new, and all I can do is hope that tell Michael, tell Matthew to put a shirt on.
Hey, at least he's a young man. He's not doing that.
He's not putting a shirt.
He's home now. He's not. He said he has to wear clothes in public. You're lucky he's got shorts on, and not walking around in his boxers or
Well,
whatever.
he's gonna get us kicked off of YouTube if he doesn't have shorts on. How about that?
Yeah. Well,
But I wanted to point out that I want to bring on a friend of mine for the last 25 years, Junior Radtke. But on top of that, we were only going to have him on, but we can't just have him on because our friend of the show, Keep Starin, Sean Cruz, gained some weight. So I'm gonna. Are you okay if I just put them both on the show at the same time?
Yeah, I don't know why you're talking so slow. I told you I got to.
All right,
You
guys.
speed that up. You're talking so slow.
Well, I'm talking so slow because I'm trying to give a reason for it. We have our friends of the show, Junior Radtke, but we also have Keep Starin, Sean, who is wearing a shirt. Sean Cruz, why don't you go ahead and give us a little insight?
What would you like to talk about?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. That was nice. That was smooth. I like that.
I see you gain some weight. Why don't you?
I mean, come on, man. It ain't that much. Like,
I mean, it's only like 8 pounds.
oh, that kind of weight.
It's only like 8 pounds of weight.
Like this.
Wait a minute. That's a.
Is that what we're talking about?
You're damn right, Tino. That's a different.
That's not the same belt he had a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sir.
Sean, what is that? What belt is that?
This is the inaugural Kentucky Kentucky Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title, and I won this Saturday night in Virginia, Kentucky, in a ladder match against Kerry Morton, who's the son of WWE Hall of Famer Rock and Roll Ricky Morton.
And
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. That is awesome, dude.
It literally, I mean, it weighs 8 pounds. Like, it's the heaviest. It's no offense to anybody else who has any titles out there, but it's the nicest one I've ever seen in person.
I'll put that shit down. I'll put that shit down.
First of all, learn to hold a title the correct way with respect.
Uh-oh.
Don't throw it on your shoulder.
Uh-oh.
You hold it
That's
here,
not
you put it on
respect.
your waist. Right? There you go.
Get him, Sean.
and Sean knows.
Sean said put that wish title away.
Well, there's a rule too that says if you wear a belt, you got to defend it.
You sure
That's
do.
yep.
What are you saying, Junior? You want a shot at it in Charlotte this weekend?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see how much drinking happens.
That sounds like a challenge.
Somebody film that. I'll put commentary over it.
Oh yes. I think I'm gonna jump on that with you, Sean. Sean and I'll do commentary. You guys go.
But Sean, walk me through the process of this Kentucky Championship Wrestling ladder match and what you did with Kerry Morton to make history.
Man, honestly, dude, like, you know, it's still almost like a dream for me because I've been doing this almost 25 years, you know, and I've, you know, scratched and clawed to get to where I was, and then some things happen and you slide back down. And you scratch and you claw and you get back and then you slide back down. And that's pretty much been my career. Some of it self-inflicted, some of it just circumstances. And I was put in contact with this promoter, a guy by the name of Jonathan Hampton, through a mutual friend. And we just got to talking. Never met him. He liked my stuff. He saw my stuff. We just kind of kept in contact. He booked me on the show. Now, originally, I wasn't supposed to be able to make it because I was already booked June 14th. And through circumstances, like, I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that things happen for a reason and they happen in their own time. And it just so happened that I was booked for this show. This promoter was a really good friend of mine, and some things happened where I was told I was no longer needed on his shows.
Oh.
And I'll just leave it at that. And it was really weird because there was a calmness that came over me that was like, hey, this is what's supposed to happen. You know? So I told Jonathan, and automatically he's like, I would love to have you on the show. Awesome. I've never wrestled in Kentucky before. I had to go through all the hoops to get the license, the blood work, the physical, pay for the license, all that. And I just knew I was booked to wrestle in Kentucky. And I think it was probably maybe a month before the show. He called me. We talked a little bit. He told me what he wanted me to do. And he said, it's going to be you and Kerry Morton for the title. And I've never wrestled Kerry. I've known Kerry for about 4 years now, I think. And always wanted to test myself against him, son of a legend, of course. And I got the opportunity, and we went out and we made it happen, and it was a blast. The whole show was a blast. I'm telling you guys right now, if you're not following Kentucky Championship Wrestling, go on your social media immediately after you do this. Follow them. They are going to be huge.
That's really awesome, bro. And we had some echo, so I'm gonna have to make sure that we try to grab each person separately when they want to ask questions. And I hear some other static coming through even from me. Bro, take me through the ladder match that you went through and the hell that you had to go through to win that championship.
So it wasn't as bad as I expected. I've been in worse, but that didn't make it any less memorable. That didn't make it any less special to me. It was very special because this represents somebody that took a chance on me. Not really knowing me, just knowing what they saw on social media and our conversations, and they're putting their newly started company on my shoulders to carry it. And that means the world to me because this guy's 7 hours away and, not for nothing, but there's people in my own backyard that would never do the same thing and never show me the same respect. And I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm way past that in my life and my career.
No, the first time that we had you on the show, and you know this, Sean, the first time we had you on the show, you talked about how you understand that at this point in your career, this wasn't necessarily something that was ever going to happen. And now we're noticing that at the same time that you said that you are putting all of this effort in and you are killing it, brother. You are killing it, and we know this. But you are getting to a point where everybody is seeing you, and they are now seeing everything that you have been putting in for the last, like you said, 20 years. And we are now able to sit there as fans of yours from the very get-go that we have been staring, and now everybody else gets to keep staring. But we get to see exactly where you're going on this level, and I gotta tell you, it's beautiful to see. We're getting some feedback, and I'm trying to kick it out, but dude, you have been killing it, and obviously this Kerry Morton ladder match has done nothing but show that you have killed it and continue to do so.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly it's still 48 hours, since the show and the match, and it still seems like a dream, man. I mean, yeah, we did some stuff in that match that man, it was a lot of fun. Crowd was into it. I got to say though, Ricky, I knew he was going to get involved. There's a clip floating around on the internet. If you haven't seen it, I'll send it to you. I was coming up the ladder. I was about to win, and he decided to come in there and give me the old,
The old 1-2, huh?
Yeah.
The old 1-2?
Yeah. He got me the old low blow. And, man, so then after the match, as I'm trying to celebrate, I guess he didn't want me to have my moment, so he decides to run in there and run me out of the ring. Then he gets on the microphone, and this 69-year-old man has challenged me to a match for this August 9th. So that's what we're doing. Once again, I mean, something I never thought I'd do. I've known Ricky Morton for 24 years, since my first day in the business. And he's somebody I've always looked up to and respected. But I'm telling you, when we step between those ropes, and I know he's the same way, all that goes out the window. It's about this right here, and that's all that matters. We can, shake hands, be buddies, whatever afterwards, maybe. But after what I plan on doing to him, he probably ain't going to want to.
Now, Sean, I know that you got that Kentucky championship right there. Is something missing? Do you have another one somewhere?
Oh, wait. Okay, you're talking about this beautiful thing.
I think that it's we all need to sit there and hold our championships like and explain when we're defending, right?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So originally, I was supposed to defend this one this Sunday in Burlington at Alpha Underground against a guy by the name of Hunter Rayner. Young kid's been wrestling, I think since he was like 15 or 16. I believe he's 19 now. We've had a couple matches before. I kind of know what to expect with him. Well, then, as I'm driving back from Kentucky yesterday, I get messages blowing up my inbox about how Heath Slater, whatever you want to call him, Heath, has decided he wants to come to Alpha Underground.
How many kids he got now?
I don't know, but he better kiss. But he better kiss every single one of them before he steps foot in my building, in my house. And then, not only that, he's supposed to be coming to do an autograph session and meet the fans. Hey, he's got to make his money. I get that. All respect. But then Chris Taylor, who I took care of at the last event, and then as me and my partner Chris Gage were handling J.R. Miller, he decided he wanted to come in there and get in our business. So I guess he said he's gone out and found a tag partner to take care of me and Chris Gage. Just so happens to be Heath.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of defending this beautiful title, which, I mean, if they want to put me in the ring with somebody, I'll wrestle twice. I'm a fighting champion. But it looks like it's going to be me and Chris Gage, collectively known as Highway Run, against Heath and Chris Taylor this Saturday night in the Lucha Dome in Burlington, North Carolina for Alpha Underground. If you can be there, be there. I know you're going to be in Charlotte, but if anybody else can be there, be there. It's going to be one heck of a match.
You know, with me being in Charlotte, I'm not too far away, but I don't know.
It's like I think it's a 7:00 bell time, maybe. We're main event, so we probably won't go on until like 9:15.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to give me the actual address because you know what have to happen. I might have to help make sure that, like, when people are looking one direction, I got them looking in the other direction, so that Starin wins this match out in Berlin.
I mean, we're gonna win regardless. I mean, like I said, all respect to Heath and everything he's accomplished. I've been around him. I've been on some shows with him. He's a good dude, but it takes more to be a good dude to be a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get a title or keep a title. And that's what separates me from everybody else. Everybody's always talking about my age, or I ain't as tall as some of these guys. I'm 5'8", 185. I'm holding 2 prestigious championship titles right now. There's a reason for that.
You are, and you're the inaugural champion of both of those champions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Folks, I want to point out real quick that Sean Cruz here has flat out said in the past, he said he knows his position in the industry, and yet he is now 2 champions in 2 different divisions.
2 different states.
2 different states, 2 different divisions. He is killing it. And there's no way to go around it. Junior, you will be joining us in Charlotte, and I just want to point out, look at those rings he's got. He's got some championship rings, but Junior, I'm almost thinking you and I Thursday night. Sean, when did you say?
Saturday.
So you know what? I think Saturday we might have to make a ride out to Burlington, and we might have to help our boy Sean Cruz. Now we'll just do it like giving him the rub, like in the audience. But you know what? If he wants some help, we might be able to help him out. What do you think, Junior? Hold on. Start that again.
I was going to say, hearing him talk and hearing the conviction and the perseverance in his voice, I don't think there's anything we can do that's going to make him any more ready to win that match.
I couldn't agree with you more, Junior. And
yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that you can see that and you can hear that, because I've been telling these guys for years that I'm done playing, but I'm done playing.
Well, it just goes to,
this is my sport.
I think it just goes to show too.
Find out what I'm willing to do.
It goes to show too that people like to put limitations on others just based on what they see, and then they also like to put people in a box based on what's happened in the past. But as long as you are putting in the work and you are truly convicted in what you're doing and you don't give up, you will eventually be able to rise to the level that you can get to. So I got nothing but respect for you, brother.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. Seriously, I appreciate that. And it's funny because we literally just met, but like strangers are your biggest supporters sometimes instead of your friends and your family. I know you know that too, Potsy. Your career.
100%.
So, and it's just crazy. You see these memes on Facebook where they're like, people will wish Beyonce a happy birthday, but they won't even talk to you or wish you a happy birthday or buy something from you or support you. You know what I mean? And if they do support you, they want you to sell merchandise at a cheaper price. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me.
Well, speaking of, too, there's a couple things before I want to give you your props, too, because I remember, I think when I first met you, you were out or you had just got back from an injury. So to see you then and to see you now, an inaugural champion for 2 different companies is phenomenal. I have nothing but respect for you for that, because I know that's you worked your ass off to get where you are. That's not blowing smoke. That's hard work. That's dedication. That's not giving up. So that much respect for that. But my next question is, speaking of buying merchandise, where can we get some Sean gear, some Sean Cruz gear, keep Starin gear?
Man, you know what? I got the absolute best merch girl in the world who just happens to be my fiance. She's incredible. She's got her own website or Facebook called Keeping Tabs on it. You can message there or you can DM me directly. We'll send you something out. I mean, we've got, not only do we have like my merch, but we've got like some generic wrestling shirts. Like we've got one that's really popular that just says "Just a girl who loves wrestling." And it's like a girl face with the glasses and the rings are in the glasses. Then we got one that says "Wrestling's real, people are fake" with a ring on it. Just stuff like that. I've got pictures. We've got, what else? Keychains. I think we're getting dog tags made up. Pretty much. I mean, I don't have a website or anything. It's just we set up at shows, and then also, you can DM me and we'll mail you one out.
Yeah, like I said, if I don't catch a show, I wouldn't mind getting a few shirts out to support you. That's
well, if Potsy and Junior come down Saturday,
all right, I might do that, Rob. I might get you, and I might
we'll
have
have them for sure. What size do you need? Just out of curiosity.
I probably need a 2X.
2X. I got you.
Let me point out that Sean Cruz's first shirt, I think actually someone on the show might have had something to do with the design work for it.
Wasn't my first shirt, but it was one of my bigger. I will show you this though.
One of his better selling shirts. How about
I just so happen to have these with me. If you see it or not, but that is a Potsy design right there.
Oh, that
on the tights.
That is definitely a Potsy design right there.
And I wore these, man. I wore these for like a year and a half last year when I was doing the whole like Carolina Classic thing and all that. I was actually going to wear them Friday night. Let me tell you about this right quick. So I went Friday night to West Virginia, wrestled for a company called Mega Pro, which they're really cool too. You should check them out. So what I love about professional wrestling, other than telling stories and making an impact in people's lives, helping them forget about just how bad things are for just 10, 12, 15 minutes. If I can do that when they come watch me perform, then, I feel like I've done my job. As a matter of fact, the promoter for Kentucky Championship Wrestling, because our show was the day before Father's Day, has been getting multiple messages telling him that show was the best Father's Day present ever, because these dads got to bring their kids to watch wrestling and watch them enjoy it, something he loves. You know what I mean? That's why we do what we do. So anyways, another reason I like doing it is the places you get to go and the things you get to see, the experiences you get to have that you would never have otherwise. Case in point. So Friday, I got a booking in Julian, West Virginia. There's a place called Waterways, giant like water, theme park type deal. So that down like the little embankment, they have an amphitheater out there where they have little concerts and stuff like that. So the guy wanted to do pro wrestling out there, so the promoter was like, "Sure, we'll do it." Set the ring up out there. There was like concrete benches. It was just really cool setup. Heath was there, funny enough. So was Shane Douglas, the franchise.
Oh,
always great to be around him and some local guys. It was a lot of fun. And so I was fifth match, semi-main. Swear to God, right before we go out, the bottom falls out.
Oh.
I mean, flood, right? So what do? We go out and wrestle anyway because we're professionals. And it was fun. We had to keep it grounded, obviously. There was a lot of holds, a lot of working, arm bars, chin locks, things of that nature. Kids loved it. They were into the whole match. Match went great. It was a guy that I've known for a while, but I never had a chance to work with. So that was cool. But it's stuff like that. And then we were coming back yesterday from Kentucky, and we came through Grundy, Virginia. There is a Walmart in Grundy, Virginia that has a car park. It is 3 stories high. Like,
what?
It's crazy. Yeah. Like total tourist things like that. I love it. That's one of my favorite things about doing what we do.
So Sean, I gotta ask.
Sure.
Like we obviously bring you on the show every so often, and we're big fans. Like we are fans of Sean Cruz. And I have to ask, like, considering one of the things that Tino asked about the last time you were on the show, which was, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that we don't have all that extra, like, whatever. But the last time you were on the show, we were talking about how, like, you're not necessarily a flippy flop guy, and you're not necessarily like this new age style wrestler. You are like literally like, I hate to say it, like the guy whose dad you beat for the championship that you beat in Kentucky. So my question to you is, did that help when the bottom fell out not too long ago and put you in that situation?
You mean as far as my career?
No, I meant in terms of like the water and everything.
Oh, rain, the actual
Rain.
First of all, you mentioned the guy whose son I beat. I appreciate the compliment. I can't get put in the same category as Ricky Morton until August 9th when I beat him. So after that, you can say that. I will say this, though. Put myself over. Call me Mark what you want to. I did a show recently, and I was told that my punches were as good as Bobby Eaton's.
Wow.
Anybody who knows wrestling, knows beautiful Bobby
Yes.
Eaton.
It's high
Midnight
praise.
Express had the absolute best punch, in my opinion, in history. Lawler's was pretty close, but I think Bobby Eaton's was better. Yeah, and I was also told that I had the intensity of Chris Benoit. I know that's a weird topic for some people. I've said it before. I don't get into whatever happened outside the ring. I wasn't there. All I can judge is in ring. And to me, you tell me I'm as intense as Chris Benoit, I will take that as a compliment.
Wow.
Now, getting to your actual question, because you know I love to ramble. Yes, honestly, it did. It really.
This is your moment, sir.
Well, not only that, but the guy I was in the ring with, I mean, he was trained properly, so he was able to adjust on the fly as well. And you know, when we started cutting stuff out, because we had decided a different match, if you know what I mean, not to get too far. I don't like to pull the curtain back too far, but the match was supposed to go a lot different and be a little more exciting, a little more high flying. I'll do some top rope stuff, some cross bodies and things like that. I ain't doing hurricanranas off the top and none of that stuff, but I'll leave my feet. And it just so happens that I was a babyface. When I'm a babyface, I'll do much more stuff like that. Yeah, I know it's weird. I get booked as a babyface sometimes. It happens.
Wow.
Yep, it happens with this face, right? But I'm a pro. I can do either one. I'm a better heel. We know this because I'm just a natural asshole. But anyways, but yeah, it did. It absolutely did. And it made me feel like it's so weird. It's like the last few matches I've had, I've really felt like I've came into my veteran status, I guess you could say it. Because I get called a vet just because I've been doing this for 24 years, but that doesn't mean I'm a true veteran.
I mean, you are, but you're a veteran in the same way that I'm a comic book veteran. You know, where like I've never worked for Marvel, but I have. I've got enough stuff out there to where people go, I know him.
Right, same. It's so weird too. Like I was at a huge show in Beckley, West Virginia. That's another company, ASW in West Virginia. Huge guy named Gary Dameron runs it. Man, it was 10 matches. Bubba Ray Dudley was there. I said it on Facebook. I'll say it again. I don't care about being called Mark. That man should be studied. I've never seen anybody have a crowd in the palm of their hand the way he did, and I was honored to be in that building to witness that. And I shook his hand and I told him that, and he said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that."
For everybody that sits there and says that Bubba Ray is just trying to cater himself to a WWE job with the LFG stuff, I completely agree with you. He is one of the best in terms of understanding the psychology of the business. So I'm with you 100% on that one, Sean.
Yeah, and there was tons of other really talented guys on there. The Heat Seekers were there. They're a tag team that are just phenomenal. They're just like right. They've been doing this not quite as long as I have, but they've kind of had the same. They've done more than I have as far as indie stuff, but they're right there on that edge of breaking in to the bigger time, and they're just great guys. Man, it was so much. Matt Cross was there, like so many of these names, the Good Brothers. It was just a fun show. But while I was there, I was just there hanging out. I helped set the ring up, and wanted to meet the promoter. I know that gets frowned on, but even me at 24 years in this business, there's been at least twice this year that I've gone and done that and gotten a spot on the show. So like it does happen. You can sit there and you can cold email and message these promoters and send them your stuff and whatever, but there's no substitute to getting in front of somebody, shaking their hand, introducing yourself, not just telling them what you're capable of, but showing them. And that's what I do. And so that's what I did with this Beckley show. And just out of the blue, some guy was like, hey, in the crowd, I mean, there was 1,100 people in this building. Some guy's walking by and he goes, hey, you're Sean Cruz, aren't you? And I was like, Yeah. He said, man, I gotta get a picture with you. And I was just like blown away. Like you said, people, it's weird when you go places like that and it's different states and people still know who you are. You know
And,
what I
and
mean?
and you know as well as I do, like we've been talking about how to cross promote these industries, and it blows my mind at how few people know who you are. Almost in the same way that it blows my mind at how few people typically know who I am. Junior and I were talking about it just recently, and I'll have him speak on it a little bit. We have been talking about how many titles I've had come out and how long I've known him, and yet this is going to be his first breakout title with DreadMutt, and it's something special to both of us, right?
Well, I mean, it's special for me. I'm sorry. Who are you again?
Me?
Just kidding.
I think I'm one of the names on the show.
Yeah. That rings a bell. No, I mean it's crazy, man. It's an honor to be able to work on a fun, a fun project with someone that I've known for a very, very long time, and to be able to take an idea that we hatched, what was it, like 15 years ago?
15.
Yeah, 15 or 20.
We might want to check that. I think
Yeah.
that the character of DreadMutt we decided we wanted to work on 25 years ago, my friend.
Well, I was drinking back then, so I don't remember a whole lot. Time gets a little fuzzy, but yeah, to be able to resurrect that project and actually see it through. I'm at the point in my life where I'm middle aged. I don't have the work under my name like I kind of feel like I should, and so now it's all about trying to get stuff done for posterity and have stuff to pass on to the kids. So
Now you however do have some previous history with some people in the professional wrestling world, right?
yeah, well, for a couple of years, I've been running a company called Angry Lemonade, making designs for various people.
Like who?
Well, I've done some work for NWA. I do all the hats for Gringo Loco, if anybody knows who he is. Great luchador, American luchador. I do all the shirt designs for a guy named Wrecking Ball Legursky. I've worked with, oh man.
By the way, I'm gonna stop you and
Yeah.
point out that Sean Cruz is sitting there just going, "Yup, I know him. I know him. I know him." So please continue.
I'll give you one. AJ Kazana.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. I love that guy.
Yep.
The AJ Kazana, his brother KC. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of their stuff. Silas Mason, the Thrillbilly. I've done a lot of work for him. I've done stuff for the Heat Seekers. So yeah,
You
I mean,
did something with someone who's no longer with us that was pretty big named, though, right?
well, I worked. Excuse me, I worked with somebody who did a deal with Sabu, and then I also worked with New Jack prior to his passing.
And I think I like, by the way, those that don't understand the Angry Lemonade name, this gentleman is very, very I'm gonna say right now, he's very simple, and he doesn't necessarily want to be known for what he has done. But knowing that he has done work for Sabu, knowing that he's done work for New Jack, And by the way, I also know the person who has the rights to New Jack's stuff, and he has asked me about different things. So knowing that you already have certain rights to do New Jack stuff is something, but it's funny because Tino probably doesn't even know any of this. Tino's like, I did. But at the same time, I should probably hook the two of you guys up so that Sean Cruz can keep having people keep staring at him because Junior Radtke and Angry Lemonade is the company that could take your merchandising. And I know that you said that your other half is doing it, but we could work out a deal, I'm sure, to get your stuff.
What kind of a cut are you asking for, Potsy?
Hey, I only ever ask for 10%. That's 10%. All I ever ask for.
Well, one of the cool things that I'm doing with Angry Lemonade is, we do have some merch stores for various people on the website that I fulfill, and then we do a kickback to the wrestlers when stuff sells. But 1 Hour Tees, they've pretty much got that stuff locked down, and it's really hard to fight against a mammoth company like that. And honestly, I wouldn't want to be honest. I'm too old. I enjoy my downtime with my family. I like to take my dog out and play fetch. So, I'm not trying to work 24/7 in order to build an empire. But I do like to work with wrestlers who are solid people. I try to avoid the carny nature. And because there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. One thing we're going to be introducing here pretty soon is something maybe, Sean, you and your fiance can, take advantage of, but we're going to be doing full wholesale commercial DTF printing, which means if you've got a heat press and you want to get some designs and you don't want to pay the money to get them screen printed, then I'll be able to print high quality transfers that you can just slap on a t-shirt, and you'll save so much more money in the long run. So
and here's the thing, guys. Like all of you, like we're all trying to still realize that on this level that we're doing things like this is one of those things where what Junior's talking about is something that like can really help you, Sean, but not just help you, because like if you have a tag team partner who also wants something like this, Junior's the guy that you can reach out to. And here's the thing, like Junior and I like Junior, do you really want to talk about like how you and I met each other? Because
we were just talking about we were just going over this earlier today. I genuinely don't remember how we started talking. I want to say this could have been back in 97, 98.
Like almost 30 years.
Yeah, it would have been, I want to say back in the AOL days on the Wizard World message board where people could post
this is going to drive you wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to drive.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. I think we may have had a mutual acquaintance. I think we were both talking to a guy named Alp Altiner at the time.
Alp Tyner, Jazz Ingram, Rob Nicolakakis, who I still work with to this day.
Yeah, there was it was a pretty cool little hub, but somehow we kind of stuck together, and you kept coming up with great ideas, and I kept flaking, and it's but we've continued to talk, and I think our mutual love of pop culture, wrestling, and just creative endeavors, because I've never really been a huge comic book guy. I grew up buying comics to look at the art, but I didn't buy comics to read them. That wasn't really something I was big into. I was always more into movies. Um, but we just kept in touch, man. And it's one of those things where, I have a creative idea, I talk to you about it. You have a creative idea, you talk to me about it. And then I just feel fortunate that, I was in a season of wanting to do a comic book, and I reached out to you and said, "Hey, man, you got anything for me?" And here we are, getting ready to drop our first actual collaboration. And my art doesn't completely suck this time either, so that's nice.
All right, so I'm Tino. I know that you've been very quiet, and I apologize for that because I know this is the Potsy and Tino show, but Junior,
I'm used to you talking the whole fucking show. Anyway.
I hate you so much sometimes, but I love you. I love you. You know I love you. But Junior and I have known each other probably as long, if not longer, than I've known you. Believe it or not. And in fact, it got to the point where he was saying that we met in like a Wizard World chat on AOL or whatever. It became so interesting that he actually said that he was going to go on vacation in North Carolina and watch The King of the Ring in 1999 with me. And crazy enough, I literally was like, yeah, my parents will be totally fine with it. Whatever. You could stay with us. And my parents were like, what are you talking about? And then he shows up, and Junior shows up, and we have to drive 45 minutes to the Greensboro Coliseum for King of the Ring 1999. And you know who won that King of the Ring, Junior? I'll let you tell everybody, unless anybody else knows already who did it. All right, too much.
It wasn't Stone Cold, was it? That wasn't Stone Cold's year, was it?
No, that was your badass Billy. Well, I think he was the one Billy Gunn at that time.
Yeah.
My name is Billy, and absolutely knows that I 100% suck. It was Billy Gunn that won that year. Now, it was the same year, if I remember correctly, Junior. You might have to remind me, but I believe it was the same year that Stone Cold actually had the briefcase move away from him, and he wasn't able to grab it to take control of the company.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember anything about that night. I don't remember anything that happened on the show. What I remember is there were some people that were yelling at us after the show because we were carrying our chairs back to the car because we managed to get some pretty nice seats down there on the floor. And I have memories of like being in awe of just how big Kane was, like in real life.
He was like 6'10" for real.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys like Ken Shamrock looked really small. Still massive wide. I wouldn't want to mess with him, but when you see some of those guys in real life and they are bigger than what they look like on TV, it's really impressive.
Now, I do want to point out, Junior, how big are you?
I'm 6'2", currently right around 370.
All right. So me at like 5'7", like 248 or whatever. Like, imagine what Kane was at 6'8" in this moment. Yeah.
I think there was a ladder match that might have been what you're talking about, because I think Ken Shamrock was he was like an enforcer, around, walking around the ring. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was, listen, I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I'm sure we had a good time. I have no bad memories about it. But that was a long time ago. And the funny thing about that, and Rob doesn't remember this, but I went out there and I was out there for what was it, like 3 days, 4 days, something like that.
You were out here for like a week.
Was it a week?
You took like a whole week off, man.
Well,
Yeah.
one of those days, Rob wanted to go look for a car, and so one of the days on vacation, he took me to a car lot, and I got to watch him as he tried to wheel and deal his way on a car. And I'm sitting here going, "All right, well, I guess this is what I'm doing today. I got no car out here. There's no Uber at that time."
Now there was no Uber at the time, but I want to point out that I did not wheel and deal myself to a car that day. But I
Right.
do want to let everybody know that every other time I've tried to wheel and deal myself to a car, I've gotten a car. And Tino, you know this. Like you've seen, you've heard, like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, Rob's got a brand new car.
I must have been bad luck that day.
No, it was just not the right time, I guess. But like I want to make sure that we talk about some of the other stuff. Junior, we have a great opportunity this weekend. And Sean, I'm sorry. I see you like looking like you're like, why am I just standing here? You are our champion, brother. You are our champion. You know you're our champion. But Junior, we have
not to stop you, Potts, but I just want to say Sean's mustache alone brings the stock on this show up. I don't know how many points. That's all I'm going to say. I wish I had a mustache like that.
How many shows do you go on that there's this much mustache and beard? I mean, this is like the tombstone of mustache and beard in a show, right?
I feel like I'm the inverse of Tino.
But seriously, Junior, I want you to talk about, like, we have DreadMutt coming out this weekend. And by the way, you and I, for the first time, besides that one time that we actually went to King of the Ring, will be in the same venue selling the wares and discussing the comics. How awesome is that?
It's exciting, man. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better set of circumstances, to be honest. The faith that you had in me in order to bring that idea to life. Especially considering the past times when I've dipped out because I couldn't stick it out. But that means a lot. And I'm hopeful. I'm grateful that we have something to drop that we're both proud of. And I hope that people who are into fun, action, comedy, anthropomorphic stuff dig it. I really that's the big thing is I just want people to see it and to go, wow, this is fun. It's not gonna turn the world over or anything like that, but hopefully if it brings a smile to a couple people's faces, I mean, I'll be excited about that.
But what is it about this book that might make people sit there and just go, this is goddamn fun?
Well, I mean, I think it's got some great one-liners in it. There's not as much as I was hoping. Issue 2 is going to have a lot more to it, but I wanted to make it a point to make it as violent as I could. So, we're breaking bones, we're smashing faces, we're blowing holes in people. It's all done in a very Saturday morning cartoon kind of way. So it's not meant to be taken too seriously, but I think we were trying to really channel the vibe of like late '80s action movies, and try to give it that kind of quality to it. And
So
Yeah.
I have to 100% agree with the 80s action stuff. I mean, like literally, we were like, this is what we're fans of. In fact, I remember the two of us were sitting there talking about it, and we were like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if we did like the Steven Seagal is blah 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 thing? And then I sat there and said, why don't we make the bad guy Steven Seagal and make him a seagull character of Steven Seagal? And you were like, fuck yeah. Like, no doubt that's what we did there. And when you see it, and when you like, and you're right, issue 2 is really going to take that to its advantage and everything else. But the idea that the bad guy is probably the bad guy from everyone's like the guy that you would think in terms of, okay, 80s action stars, this is the guy that I look at, and then all of a sudden you realize that like Chuck hated him, and this guy hated him, and this guy like Steven Seagal is the guy that needed to be the bad guy of our book, right?
Well, part of me too wants, yeah, and part of me too wants to work in a thing where we DreadMutt does the Gene LaBelle shtick and makes him shit his pants before he finishes him off. That would be hilarious. Feather, I was pretty proud too because I know that you took the cover that I did, and you put it into an AI machine, and you tried to do like a live action poster version of it just to see what it looked like, and it actually spit out Steven Seagal's face on the character. So I'm pretty proud. I mean, I feel like the likeness isn't too bad. I just made him even fatter than he really is, which is pretty fat. So
Except I don't even think that you did, because when the AI was spitting it spit out a fat Steven Seagal. But the fact that it was like a legitimate Steven Seagal that it pushed out, I was like, oh my god, like this is like it even knows what
yeah,
we're doing here.
yeah, yeah. I was pretty happy with that.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Junior and I will be at Heroes Con Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll be there together. We've got commissions set up where the two of us can actually do sketches together. You can ask him to do one separate. You can ask me to do one separate, but we do have it set up to where you can do them together. Tino,
We're gonna have these too.
and yeah, this is what I really wanted him to talk about, was like he created some really cool merch that he's going to bring to the show. Go ahead, show it.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. So this is like one of the early versions, but it's a shot of DreadMutt and his catchphrase there. And I was working on getting some tumblers made too. This is something that I'm also going to offer through Angry Lemonade as a service for people who are looking to get different kinds of merch made. But yeah, I'm still working on getting some hats embroidered. I've got those running tomorrow, and yeah, it's just trying to offer people some different stuff, and I kind of feel like our target demographic is going to be middle-aged guys born either in the 70s or 80s, raised on pop culture, wrestling, action movies, and drinking. Yeah, so I have no illusions or delusions to the fact that my core audience is going to look just like me. And so everybody that walks by, that looks like they fit our demographic, hopefully we'll have some stuff for them to kind of catch their eye.
And see,
So,
I even see that Sean Cruz is sitting there getting ready to drink something. Folks, we haven't really talked about pro wrestling at all, and I know that Tino wants to, because that's what we do during our show. I'm gonna say now, thank you to both Junior Radtke and Sean Cruz. You guys are more than welcome to stick around, because I really only have like 2 or 3 things for this week that I want to talk about in terms of pro wrestling. It's up to you guys whether or not you guys want to hang out and talk about it, because your opinion matters. Obviously, Sean Cruz matters, being a 2-time champion now.
yeah, I'm willing to stick around.
All right.
I could talk wrestling.
So, Tino, I don't have anything for Monday Night Raw that I really want to talk about, but I do have some stuff from both AEW and from SmackDown. So when it comes to AEW, I want to talk about this right here. And I want Tino to talk first, guys.
Potsy, sorry, I didn't cut you off, but I got to dip out, man. I got to eat. I can't keep my body like this if I don't eat every certain hours.
You know what, Sean? I understand. You're a champion. You got to do what you got to do, brother.
Thank you guys for having me, though. Seriously, man. It's been a blast. Junior, it was great meeting you, man. We definitely need to talk about merch and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll get in touch, man.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so you guys want me on again, just let me know.
You got it.
Thanks you so much, brother.
Good luck, bro.
Out. Later.
Did they announce that on Collision? Because I didn't watch Collision yet. It was 4 hours.
Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks at All In. Looks like it is. And they kind of made it sound like it was like a done deal, but it wasn't a done deal yet. But it's going to be a done deal. Tino, I want your opinion on it, because this is one of those things that I'm sitting there.
They're tag teaming, but this past week they were fighting each other, right? Because I think Ospreay got mad at Swerve because he didn't want to trust the Hangman last week, so he swung on Swerve and they got a little fight in the parking lot, which led to the match this week, right? So now they're going from that to tag teaming against the Bucks.
Well, it ended with Swerve jumping in the place and catching that boot that had the
Ospreay caught it. Ospreay jumped in front of Swerve.
Oh, I thought it was Swerve jumped it, but okay. Please continue.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Ospreay did jump in front of Swerve because they had Swerve handcuffed to the ropes. And then they pulled out the sneakers with the tacks or spikes, whatever they had on the bottom, and they went to go do a super kick party. And right when they got ready to, Ospreay came back in the ring and took the kick. Yeah,
how'd you feel? Do you have to remove yourself from your disdain of the Young Bucks?
Yeah, because I mean, Ospreay and especially Swerve coming off he was a champion. They're trying to push Ospreay, but to put them against the Bucks aren't going to lose. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks aren't selling. The Bucks aren't losing. So again, it's one of those matches that we've talked about this before. Why are we going to waste a match when we know who's going to win, right?
Well, I think that when it comes to the pay-per-view, if this is the match, Ospreay and Swerve versus the Bucks, this is one that the Bucks are willing to lose because they sit there and they go, well, it's the 2 top guys and we're willing to lose that. But this is going to be one of those matches where everything in terms of the top moves that happen
They're not
are
going
gonna have to happen to Osprey and Swerve. So like all of the bloody moments and everything else are gonna have to happen to the two of them. And by the way,
I don't see them selling for Osprey and Swerve really.
sure. Okay.
Sorry. I just
Junior, you like you got anything that you want to add? Like I know that you're not as into it.
I don't like AEW. I don't like AEW at all. I don't watch it. I don't follow it, and a lot of it's because the booking is just ass. You know, you want to talk about the Bucks not selling for or going down for Swerve or Osprey. If they knew how to do good business, FTR would have been a much bigger deal back in the day when they had all of the energy behind them, the momentum behind them, and it didn't work out. And AEW, I find they shoot themselves in the foot time and time again trying to hotshot stuff versus building it slowly, letting people get behind them, and then they just they throw it all away for a quick ratings hit.
Or they make it last too long, like this damn Moxley thing.
Yeah,
they stretch it out too long. This whole Moxley thing, it's been going on almost a year now. I can understand 6 months. 6 months I'm cool with, but it's close to a year, and they're trying to. And Rob brought up a good point too. It's like they're trying to emulate the yeah. Unlike you, Rob, I'll give you props. Because I was right about something, Junior, and he would not give it to me. He kept saying, no. Then until I cussed him out, then they finally gave me my props. So they're trying to do a Roman Reigns thing with Dean. I keep wanting to call him Dean Ambrose, with Moxley, but they don't know how to do it properly. You know what I mean? They're
right.
trying to do something that they have no business doing. And they don't do it properly. They've overdone it. They've overdone this one.
I think one of the biggest issues that you have with AEW is having talent be in high-ranking office positions. Now, whether or not they're figurehead or what, just being in that position creates a conflict of interest. And it's like Dusty Rhodes used to get had heat. Jerry Lawler had heat because they were basically they rammed the territory and they put themselves over all the time. Now it's arguable whether or not they deserved that because they were the most talented in their region. But when you're talking about AEW, from the get-go, it just kind of felt like they really didn't have a real game plan for what kind of stories they wanted to tell, how they wanted to tell them. And I'll tell you, Tino, I mean, back when I was a kid, you built pay-per-views for the quarter, right? You had a big pay-per-view every quarter.
Yes.
And you would maybe have the big four. And then you would have a super show maybe somewhere in there coinciding with a holiday or whatever, but you would build your big programs for 4 months and then pay them off.
Yes.
And after that, you reset and you go somewhere else. If it's whether it's too long or too short, man, it's no good in my opinion.
And also the another big problem, and Rob will tell you this, sometimes WWE does it too, but especially AEW is guilty of it. They get the people that they like, right? And they keep building and building. You need to build some of these younger talents that are good and bring them up because these older talents are going to get old and fall off. But you're not pushing these younger talents. You're pushing these WWE talents that are coming in, right? And so you got this homegrown talent that you're not even pushing, right? And so then what happens when, like I said, they either phase out, they go back to WWE, they get old, they get hurt. You haven't built any of this younger talent.
I mean, so to you guys' points, yes, AEW has done that a lot, and Tino and I talk about it on a weekly basis that there is a very specific Tony Khan favoritism where if you're his favorite, you're getting pushed. And it's interesting because, you know, Mariah May was on that list until she said, I'm not signing a contract. Tony Storm still on that list.
Renee.
Mercedes Moné is on that list. John Moxley. As long as John Moxley sits there and says, I'll keep signing a contract, he's going to be on that list. Like, and to the point where his wife is sitting there going, John, you have no blood left. Stop doing it. Like, he's still going to do it. But I mean, that's kind of where we are, and it's really disappointing.
Well, it's funny, you know, everything you were saying, Tino, people were saying, what was it, 15 years ago about TNA.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, you know, what AEW is doing right now with not, you know, focusing on growing talent and instead holding on to the guys who were hot 10 years ago they've been around now. I mean, we've seen Kenny Omega, we've seen the Ospreay, we've seen, you know, the Young Bucks, we've seen Moxley. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you have a moment like when Chris Jericho put over Action Andretti, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was an opportunity to create a star.
Thank you. Well, the Mercedes, Robin knows what I'm about to say. The Mercedes Moné, Harley Cameron feud. Harley Cameron, Robin and I talked about it. Has it? This chick can sing. She plays guitar. She does ventriloquism.
She did ventriloquism,
dude. She had it all. They could have pushed. And maybe not a world title, but give her that TNT title, that mid card title. And nope, they couldn't do it. They had to keep it on Mercedes Moné because
and you know, like, even going further than what Tino just said, they talked about how Athena, the woman that was what was her name in WWE?
Ember Moon.
That she had not been pinned in an AEW or Ring of Honor ring
over
in
2 years.
2 years. And what did they do? They had Mercedes Moné pin her in 12 minutes. And they had her do it in a way that it was like, that didn't even matter.
Mm-mm.
Even though this was the moment that if you wanted to sit there and go, this is who we built up from the ground up. And I know Ember Moon came from WWE. But if you wanted to build her up from the ground up, 2 years not being pinned, getting a pinfall over Mercedes Moné would have been amazing. And instead, they just go, Mercedes Moné. She getting the win.
I've said it before too. AEW is the modern day, and you said TNA, but I think it's more modern day WCW. WCW did the same thing, right?
Yep.
Totally.
On the same scale, you know, TNA smaller scale, but WCW like Hogan and Savage and Hall and Nash, you know, they like and they took those guys and ran with them when they had all this younger talent they could have been working with.
It took all that younger talent going to WWE in order for them to get their shine because, you know, they recognized what they had. You've got when the Radicals came over, when Jericho came over. I mean, these were names that were built in WCW, but had all the fanfare, but didn't have any of the support, you know, backstage. And then they go to WWE and they blow up.
Even Booker T, he blew up once he got to WWE. I mean, he was big in WC, but he blew up when he got to WWE.
Well, he blew up. He blew up with his Stone Cold Steve Austin moments. I mean, but on top of
that and Goldust, I think those are the two, and King Booker. I think those are the three. I mean, he just ran with it.
Ain't gonna get me to tell you that you're wrong when you say King Booker.
You guys are saying it wrong. It's King Booker.
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 King Booker. Because, like I said,
Shucky ducky quack quack.
my favorite is when he was
quack, quack.
he trying to talk all proper, and then somebody pissed him off. Tell me he didn't just say that. He'd go back and oh my God, that was so funny to watch him do that.
Nothing was as funny as when he would actually do commentary while he was in a ring in TNA, though. Nothing was as good as that.
Black snow.
But gentlemen, there are some things this week that we should probably talk about. So I do want to. We already had Keith Starin and Sean Cruz on the air, but we should. We'll talk about that last. Los Garzas actually won the AAA tag team titles this week.
Oh,
at their big event.
Okay.
And this was over the Nemeths and some other folks. So feelings here?
They're not going to show it on WWE TV, so I mean,
They might actually show it.
Has there been any talk of securing AAA, television distribution?
Not really. But I tend to think that the reason why WWE even says that they secured it was so that they could sit there and allow them to show it on other programming than Netflix, because anything that's WWE branded going forward internationally has to be Netflix branded.
Really? I didn't know that.
because aren't they moving?
So
are they moving SmackDown to Netflix too? Aren't they?
No.
that's the only program they have that's still on terrestrial television, right?
Well, they got
CW has NXT.
and they put Evolve on Tubi, so
Evolve is on Tubi. WWE SmackDown is on USA, which would also be on Peacock, and then Raw is on Netflix. So the crazy thing, knowing that everything is supposed to be on Netflix, none of their US broadcasts are on Netflix except for Raw.
mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Well, I would love to see AAA now that they're hooked up with WWE. I mean, I like Luchador. I like Lucha Libre. I remember really enjoying watching Lucha Underground when that was on. A bit of a different presentation, but I really enjoyed it. And it's a style of when you're only seeing one luchador in a show.
Yes.
I don't think you really get the full scope or impact of what that style of wrestling does, especially to a live crowd.
Sure.
I mean, we have been conditioned through WWE. We've been conditioned to go, oh, he's wearing a mask, he's going to lose, right? He might do a couple flippy floppy moves, he might do some pretty interesting stuff, but I'm not going to waste my time getting invested in this guy. Because with the exception of Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio is the only one that's been able to really him and the Patriot are the only guys
Wow.
wearing the mask.
Patriot. Oh my goodness.
Patriot.
Yeah. They're the only ones that kind of broken through in the more modern era.
At least you didn't say the real American hero.
Mr. America?
Mr. America, Hulk Hogan. But you know what? El
Doom.
Grande.
What about Doom?
El Grande Americano.
I like what they're doing with that. I've been enjoying what they're doing with that, to be honest. And him pulling double duty, and
Doing the he's doing the Owen Hart Blue Blazer thing.
Well, he's also doing the Hulk Hogan as Mr. America thing. That's really what he's doing.
Well, he's also doing the Narcissus metal metal thing, but instead of the forearm, it's in the head. So
in the forehead, yeah.
there's very little Chad Gable can do that I'm not going to be a fan of. That guy is game. He goes 100%. He goes all out, even when he's getting crapped on and they're trying to call him Shorty G. He gives it his all. He does the best he can, and he continues to get crowds invested in him. And so, the fact that they didn't make him Kurt Angle's son is a travesty of, is one of the biggest travesties in, historical booking.
I like when they can get stupid things over. Like Gable's got that. Oh, thank you. He got that over. I mean, that's
so I want to say when you're talking about the whole like he should have been Kurt Angle's son, I think that literally came and hit them in the ass on purpose. When you actually think Junior's sideways somehow.
Yeah, I gotta quit drinking, guys. I gotta quit drinking.
He's hanging by a thread, apparently.
Let me see if I can fix it.
But I really think that the whole idea of him in that situation, like they purposely, like it happened and it hit them on purpose. Like when they said, "Oh, it's going to be Jason Jordan," something happened. He got sick, and then all of a sudden, it's like, God damn! They really should have made that like Chad Gable, and we all knew it should have been Chad Gable. We all knew it, but when it wasn't, it was like, all right, let's see what they do now.
Nothing.
No.
Well, I that was Vince. Let's be honest, that was Vince. So
yeah. As far as Los Garzas, I mean, that's the Angel and Humberto Cruz, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're a solid tag team, and I really wish that they would have been able to do more when they were solo, because Heyman was doing great things with Cruz, and then when Angel came up, he was kicking ass and taking names. But the problem is that they're too small and they're the wrong color, and so unfortunately they get sidelined after a little while. It's just the truth.
It's true.
Thanks.
All right, so now I'm gonna bring up some topics from AEW. You ready?
Yeah, about 10 minutes, brother.
All right. So the international and the continental titles equal. What are they gonna call it?
Well, we already said Intercontinental, but they can't.
But it's not. They've now announced that it's going to be the United or Unified title.
Okay,
Tino, I want you to go ahead and talk about it. Do you care?
No. I care less about these titles. No.
How about they get rid of half the titles they have and make the remaining titles mean something?
Oh, Jesus. Junior, if you had listened to like the last 2 years of our show.
Listen, for 15 years, I've been banging the drum of let cut all the titles in half, get rid of like all the monthly pay-per-views. It's too much. It's too much.
Right. Yeah, it's getting to the point like it's not even monthly anymore. It seems like it's every 2 weeks. There's another damn pay-per-view coming up.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
So now I have a real thing we need to talk about. And Tino, I want your opinion first.
It's bullshit.
No, I want you to talk about it. Don't go saying bullshit. Tell me.
Why did they? So, from what I understand, is they took the title off of Jey Uso, put it on Gunther, because now they want to have Gunther and Goldberg at this pay-per-view. I don't even think they've a match that's going to be for the title yet, right? So they want to, which they probably will. this is what I think is going to happen, right? First of all, Jey Uso talking about getting a crowd over, this muzz got yeet over. He's got whole audiences yeeting when he comes down. He gets in the ring, his music stops. They're yelling one more time. This dude's white hot. And so they have to start the music again so he can go back up in the ring and do his thing, right? Why? Why would you get somebody who's over as that? Gunther's good. I'm not taking anything away from Gunther, right? I think Jay's more over than Gunther, right? The only reason you took this belt off of him is to put it on Gunther so you can come have broke ass Goldberg come back, lose a match.
Broke ass Goldberg.
Broke down. That fucker's broke down. He said it hurts him to do the fucking
he only got one. He only got one trap anymore.
That's what I'm saying. He said it hurts him to do the fucking spear, right? So they got him to come back to fight this match. But in the meantime, they put Jey Uso in the King of the Ring. Guarantee Jey Uso wins that King of the Ring and wins his belt back at SummerSlam. I think they took that belt off of him, put it on Gunther, so they can have it at Saudi Arabia because they love Goldberg for some fucking reason. So Gunther and Goldberg can go at it for that belt. Let Goldberg lose or whatever. Jay comes back, gets his rematch because he wins at SummerSlam because he wins the King of the Ring.
They said, Goldberg, take that Jewish ass and win you some $2 million worth of.
You about to get us fucking canceled. The views that Rob.
Not at all, man. We know he's Jewish.
Not in any way have anything to do with the Potsy and the Tino part of Potsy and Tino show. I ain't getting canceled.
No, but seriously, like here's the deal. Like I kind of agree with you. Like the idea of taking the belt off of a white hot baby face like Jey Uso, who can literally walk into the ring and just sit there and go, huh, one more time, let's do it, and cause them to miss their cues and their 5-minute outro so that they have to sit there and go another 10 minutes. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. I felt that this was one of those moments where they're like, well, we built Jey Uso up as big as we can. Gunther's still a bigger heel. Let's take it off of him and put it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I get it.
If
someone please tell me.
If they put those Usos back together as a tag team,
Fuck that.
Fucking quit WWE because that would be
fuck that. Nobody wants.
I got it. Let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys something. Is Jey Uso over or is his entrance over?
Doesn't matter.
Because there's a difference.
Jey Uso.
Okay. I've seen a lot of Jey Uso's matches since he's been the champion. His entrance is phenomenal. Okay, it is way over, and every time he does the maneuver, the whole yeet move, people dig it. But I don't hear a lot of hooting and hollering when the bell rings and there's a lot of action going on in the ring. I don't think he is as over as a performer as you guys are thinking. And I'll be honest, if you're looking at Jey Uso on paper, Jey Uso versus if Goldberg is the direction they're going, that is not as interesting as a Gunther Goldberg match.
Gunther is a pumped up Lance Storm.
Oh, I disagree. Gunther, you put Gunther. Listen, you put him in the ring. Anybody who people consider to be a possible threat, if they do a face-off, people are interested. They want to see it. They want to see it. He might not be the over in the people chant, because listen, we all know people love chants. People love chants. They love to participate. It's a way they get to participate, and they really get to participate during Jey Uso's intro. Gunther doesn't do any of that, but he's a believable threat every time he enters the ring, which is
Gunther is, and sorry, Junior, but Gunther is Ivan Drago.
Yeah, I agree.
And unfortunately, to go against what you said, after Rocky beats Ivan Drago, the next time we see Ivan Drago is Creed 2. And in that moment, Creed beats Ivan Drago's kid. And Drago is sitting there and he's left going, I tried. And at the same time, he's also sitting there going, but I'm proud of my kid. Which, by the way, is a huge difference from the whole thing. But my point is that when you look at Gunther, and I love Gunther, I think Gunther is the perfect heel.
I miss thick Gunther.
We all miss Thick. We all miss.
He's too
We
skinny.
all miss Walter. How about that? We all miss.
Yeah, Walter. Yeah,
We all miss Walter.
yeah.
But I swear to God, man, like Gunther, still that bastard's scary. And
Yeah,
and
I mean,
he's scary against everybody on the WWE roster until you put him up against like a Rick Boogs. And by the way, Rick Boogs isn't even a WWE roster guy anymore. He's an American Gladiator, god damn it.
you know, I love Jey Uso. I think some of his character work during the Bloodline era with Sami Zayn, that's what really put him on the map and differentiated him from his brother. But as much as I like him and I want to see him succeed as a performer, and I'm proud of what he's been able to accomplish, especially having been at it for so long, and then under the umbrella of a tag team, to be able to become a solo star like he has, I think that's fantastic. But is he top guy material? I don't think so. Me personally, I don't think so. I think his entrance is way over. It's the most over thing. But remember, Rusev Day was super over, right? And they dropped the ball on that. But was Rusev with Rusev Day? Was he the guy to wear the top title at the time? I don't know. I don't think so. He didn't have it yet.
All right. We got to stop you there because there was one big major difference in the way that things were run. And that was Triple H versus Vince McMahon. Now, do I think that Rusev Day would have gotten Rusev over as the champion? I don't know. Especially if we had anything to do with that whole Lana like cucking and all that bullshit that went on. I don't know. But Jay specifically was meant like he organically got over his overness with his theme song, with his way he said yeet. The whole like one word, 4 letters, yeet. I don't know what the fuck is going on with all of that, but it is over like goddamn Rover, man. Like it is next level over. Like and what's crazy is the only thing that is going to stop his being over is someone else getting to that level and taking it over. But regardless, Tino
I'm pretty sure Gunther stopped it.
Well, doesn't mean that you lose. Doesn't mean that you lose a match.
No.
But Tino mentioned that we're already at the hour and a half mark. The only other thing that I really want, I think we talked about all of it. Like, I think we've talked about everything. Junior, you're with me this weekend. What else do you have to say? I'm going to sit here and put this back up with what's up with you.
Okay, yeah. So going to be with Rob at Heroes Con this coming, Thursday. Thursday night we'll be setting up, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday we'll be, carnival barking, selling our wares, all sorts of stuff. Having a good time. And then, I run Angry Lemonade. It's a bulk apparel, shop. We're going to be offering wholesale DTF transfers here coming up in July. We'll also be offering UV stickers and decals coming up towards the end of summer. We do embroidery, we do shirts, we do all sorts of stuff. So if anybody is interested, go to angrylemonade.net and ask for a quote.
And you'll probably be on the show more often after this, but on top of that, who knows?
I'll be back as often as I'm invited. I'm good for a devil's advocate. I'm a good contrarian, so
you'll probably be invited back so that way we can talk about like.
I really can't get over what I'm seeing here, me and Tino. I mean, I really do feel like I feel like I'm just the inverted version of Tino's webcam.
Oh, you have the dark beard and the white face. He's got the black face. And the white beard. Well, here's the good news. You are welcome back anytime. I'm sure Tino agrees with me on that. At the same time, I think that we probably might have worked out a deal with you and our friend Keep Staring Sean Cruz, the Kentucky Championship champion. Like, let's not discount that at all. He absolutely has earned everything that we've been talking about there. Like Tino and I literally, what was it, six months, Tino, that we talked to him, and he flat out told us, I don't think that championships are ever in my realm. And now he has two at the same time, and one of them was against Kerry Morton, and it was in a ladder match. I mean, like that dude is killing it.
Yes.
So, with that said, Tino, what else you got, man? I told you we weren't gonna have a lot to talk about. We were just gonna talk about this stuff.
See, JR, what happens is generally, I have a job and I have to be up early, and Rob will sit here and I'm like, I want to do an hour and a half, and then 2 hours, a little over 2 hours later, you're finally like time to go. I'm like, I gotta go to bed.
What did I say then? What did I say tonight?
Oh, because he knew for a fact that I would jump off. I'd be like, see you. Because I told him I gotta be there at 7:30. But nah, seriously, it was thanks for coming on, Junior. I'm interested in getting my hands on DreadMutt because Rob's been talking about it forever. So I am looking forward to getting my hands on it. I thought that was done, Rob.
No, this is last week. Last week.
I thought last week was the last week.
No, last week. 4 days.
All right. Well,
Well, I hope you enjoy it, Tino. And guys, I really appreciate you having me on. It's been a pleasure. It's great to get to meet you, Tino. And I look forward to chopping it up again in the future.
All right, man. And so, did you gave all your handles, right?
No, go ahead.
Junior,
go ahead. You're out your handles.
Yeah, angrylemonade.net is the website. At Angry Lemonade everywhere on social media is where you can find me. And then if you want to follow my art specific stuff, you can follow me on Instagram at Drawn by Junior.
Cool. All right. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find us on X for Potsy and Tino. Facebook, we're the Potsy and Tino Show. You can catch us right here each and every week on the Pots and Pan Network. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, buy our shit. I'm so used to saying Adam's House Cat. We don't do that anymore. We have a new theme song. And your turn, Rob.
Pochak, Rob Potsy Pochak. Find me on everything.
All
With
right.
that, folks, we are ready to say good night. Thank you so much. If you're in Charlotte this weekend, catch me in Junior because we will be there. If you're not in Charlotte, go to Burlington on Sunday because that is where
Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh, he was. Yes, Saturday, where Sean Cruz.
You'll miss the whole show listening to you. Saturday.
You know what? It'll be after he already won. It'll be after he already won. That's. But
you
no,
keep
seriously.
Staring. He ain't there.
Saturday, Sean Cruz. Is he defending?
I can't remember if he said. No, he's in that. He's in the tag team. Remember him and his.
He's in the tag team match.
Yep.
That's right.
The gentleman
Sean
and
Cruz tag team match Saturday night.
main event.
Burlington. And if Junior and I can make it out there, we might help him win that belt or win that match. But otherwise, folks, we are out. Thank you so much. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Motor Shitty Machine Guns.
Motor Shitty Machine Guns.
Ready? Motor City Machines and Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino show.
Thanks for watching.